Okay, well, welcome back. I know, as always, I always start off by saying how long it's been since the last time. And I'd want to say, happy 2025, but I guess a little late for that. So just kind of get into what we're going to talk about today. We've been working on something for the past 4 months, and we think it's working okay, so we put it up on the website. We now have a PA program database that you can search and you can filter things out. If you're not familiar with our website, it's pamentoronline.com. And if you just look on the menu bar, it's right on the bar. It just says PA program search. So let's go ahead and talk about it. For those of you who may be listening to the podcast, obviously you're not going to see anything until you go there, but still talk about the elements of it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can kind of follow along, like maybe a little tutorial about how it actually works. So from here, I'm just going to more or less narrate this. So if you just want to listen along, if you've never been to our website before, it is pamentoronline.com. And as you see, when you come to the website right here, it says PA program search. So if you just go right there, then here it comes. It just pops right up. To the best of our knowledge, there are 334 PA programs. At least that's what we researched. I know there are a few more, but these are direct entry programs, such as going from high school into PA program. We did not put these on our website because we only work with students that are in an undergraduate program, a bachelor's program, heading into PA school. So if you're looking for that, I'm sorry we don't have that information available to you or not on here. Maybe we'll add it at some point, but for now, we want to just add the schools for students that we typically work with that are graduating college, going on to a PA program. So as you can see, there are many search options. So obvious, select state. You just pick what state that you want or states. Tuition, you can select by in-state, out-of-state, and then we gave some ranges for you to search within in terms of price range, if that's something that is of importance to you. Accreditation status, you can select continued provisional, probation, or developing. GPA, whether it's required or not, and you can even select a range like for the overall or science GPA, or at least, put in your minimum, and then it would tell you what schools that that fall within the GPA that you've listed. For the prereqs, you can include courses, you can exclude courses. If you're looking for a school that has time limits, whether it's 5, 7, 10, or no limit, and then you can go through selecting courses to exclude. Like, say, for example, you wanted to exclude any chemistry courses, you'd come down here and eliminate the chemistry courses, and then there you can see the number, it just pops up. All right, PCA hours, so your patient care hours, whether they're required or not, and then if you want to put in a number to see what schools match for the ones that do require. Shadowing, if you don't have any shadowing, you can select not required, or you can put in a number of hours, see if you match. Exams, whether a school requires GRE or not, Casper, TOEFL, the language exam, or PA CAT. There are certain program details. For instance, if you want a school that's rolling or non-rolling admissions, ones that will accept non-U.S. citizens, hybrid programs, schools that have a preference for military personnel, if they'll accept DACA status, and then for some, if you want them to consider your last 60 credits for your GPA. And then application deadline, you just search by month and year. And then lastly, class start day, if that matters to you, if you want to find a school that starts in a certain period of time, because maybe you're still in your undergraduate career. Okay, so those are just real simply some of the filters that we have in our PA program search database. But let's say if I want to look for schools in a particular location, I'm just going to go ahead and click, and then automatically you're going to see the number of schools pop up. It'll just keep filling up. We do have Canada listed here. There are, 5, 6 programs in Canada. We have not added them yet, so I apologize if you're looking for that. We're going to get them in later, but for right now, we don't have them. So let me pick a couple more schools. So out of these 4 states I've picked, so these are the number of schools. Now let's say that I don't want to take the GRE. So if I select that, then it bumps down to 35. And I want to make sure I don't want to take the PA CAT. So fortunately, none of these required it. And if I'm not interested in taking the CASPA, so I only lost one school. So great. There are about 34 programs right there that I could look at that are in the locations where I want to attend school. Maybe I have coursework that's kind of old. So if I'm looking for schools that go out to say a 10-year, so I've selected that, then it drops me down to 14 schools. And let's say that I want schools that do not require organic chemistry. So I do all the OChems. So great. So I still have 11 schools that I could look at. And then if I wanted a school that would consider my last 60 credits, well, I don't have any. So there you go. You can see how that works. But if I'm looking for the ones that have non-related admissions, there were none there either. So let's try rolling. Okay, so bump me down to 9 schools. But as you can see, and again, I think to reset all this, I'm sorry, I thought we had a reset button, but take a look at that with our web designer. If you pick a few of the school, or let's say that you want to really get into a school. So let's pick, all right, California's got a lot of schools. So there's 21. So when I select this, view the results, now I actually look at the schools. And when you want to go a little bit further, obviously you just pick which school you want to look into. So we have the basic information listed here, such as phone number, email, their address, and you click here and you go right to the school's website. It just has very basic information such as their accreditation. So Cal Baptist has continued. They have the same tuition, in-state, out-of-state. They started in September. The duration of the program is 24 months. They have a current class size of 30 students. They require a $1,000 seat deposit. They do have a preference for military, and the deadline for the application is December 1st in whatever year you're applying in. So those are just some of the very basic aspects of that program. So if I want to know a little bit more, so I can click on requirements, and here it'll tell me that I need at least a 3.2 overall GPA and a 3.0 science. Go down to the next, find out what courses are required, and you can drop down that. It'll actually tell you all the prerequisites right here. Some schools will have like an either or. So if there's anything down here, it'll tell you, for instance, it says that you must have one of the following. So either abnormal psychology, developmental lifespan psychology, or general psychology. You have to have at least one of these. And then below that says you have to have 3 of the following, which is there was anthropology, government, history, humanities, political science, social sciences, and sociology. Again, it just says you have to have 3 of these that are listed below. And right now they didn't have any recommended. They do have recommended courses. So again, they're recommended. So recommended would be biochemistry, medical terminology, and stats. Again, just saying that they recommend them. You don't have to have them, but obviously it would make you more competitive. So scrolling down, and you can always close these all out if you don't really want to scroll. Scrolling down, talks about what their grade conditions are. So for Cal Baptist, you have to have a B- or better for all of the prerequisites. Now, we try to provide as much information as we could. For example, like pending prerequisites. It says here unknown. You'd have to check with the PA school. We did our best to check with schools. Some of them, we're still trying to follow up with them, but we did our best to put in as much information as possible. Regarding online courses, it states that during 2020-21, they were accepted, but if that's what's stated, that generally means after 2021, they do not accept online prerequisites. Of course, know that for any of these, please check with the school if you're not sure, if you have further questions. We've done our best to put as much information on these pages. And this is literally, we started back in October of last year. And I mean, some days we were just working 14, 16 hours a day going through web pages, and you have to cover 334. It took a while. Let's just put it that way. So again, the information that we have is the best that we know. Pass-fail grades, again, says unknown. You'd have to check with the school. And then AP credits, if they appear on an official college transcript, they will accept them. Prerequisite time limit, they have a 5-year time limit of all the prereqs. So that's everything that we knew or we could find when we were looking over their website. Experience hours says that you have to have a minimum of 1,000 direct patient care experience hours. Under shadowing, they require 20 hours. Evaluations, you need to have 3. If there are specific evaluations or if they noted it on their website, we would have put it here, but this just says 3. The GRE is not required, PA-CAT not required, CASPER not required. International students, they do accept, and the TOEFL is not required. And then additional notes, as it said, for the prerequisite sciences, you had to have a total of 9 units or 3 courses. If, when you're going through this, if you find errors or anything you feel maybe not correct, feel free to let us know, because it is just something that we recently put up, and it's kind of, we think everything's complete. Obviously, some things may not be. All right, so you can switch back, and as I said here, okay, here you can actually clear all filters. I guess you have to first select your filters, and then when you view the results, then the little clear all filters pops up. Let's try, okay, so for a school like Chapman, now Chapman does require, well, they all have different requirements, but for example, right here, it does have, Chapman does require the GRE, which this states, also tells you, right, for example, here, they have no minimum score required, and the GRE must have been completed within 5 years. Mentioned before about evaluations here on Chapman, again, it says you have to have 3 evaluations. And here it does state that at least one of them must be from a PA, an MD, or a DO. Something else that we put in with this, if you wanted to do a comparison, which I know when you're trying to build your own spreadsheets, a lot of you guys have your own spreadsheets. We try to make one for you. So like, let's say I wanted to compare Keck, Loma Linda, and Marshall B. Ketchum, and Samuel Merritt. So I'm not sure if there's any limit to the number of schools that you can pick to compare, but if you click right here, it says selected programs after you've checked the ones that you want to compare. And then here's a little bit of a spreadsheet. I know it probably is not as comprehensive as some of the ones that you guys make on Excel, but you can at least from here get some basic information, which, you know, their start dates, the length of the school, certainly the cost, number of students, rolling and non-rolling, GRE, yes or no, CASPER, yes or no, and PA-CAT, yes or no. And you can even print this out if you want. I think it does print as an Excel file, which then you should be able to go and edit yourself if you want to. Is this going to tell you the right school for you? No, it does not do that. That's something that we help you with. So if you want to help, or if you want help trying to find which one is the right school, and I'm not trying to say like this is some kind of secret, it's just we simply have to meet you, talk to you, figure out, well, there are a lot of things. It has to do with your current grades, where you live, your background in terms of patient care. There are a lot of factors that go into picking the schools that are a better fit for you. But we provided this database. We hope this is going to be helpful for those of you who are going to be applying this cycle or reapplying. We know for ourselves, we're constantly doing our own research. So we came up with this database in part to help us as we research schools, trying to help the students that we work with. But hopefully this will help some of you as well. You might even learn about some schools you were not even aware of. And as I said before, while you're reviewing a school, if you find information that you feel is incorrect, right down here it says just click right here to report it. Again, we put this information out that we found by going to the school's website. The schools can change their requirements anytime they want. A school that may not require shadowing may now change it. Some that have the GRE may take it away or add other tests. So as of well, what is this? Okay, January 27th of 2025. This is accurate to the best of our knowledge, but if you find anything, please send us an email. Happy to make the changes, and we'll thank you for providing that information. If there is anything about the database you'd like to see change, maybe there's something that we didn't set up the search material to look for, please provide suggestions. We'll try to do everything we can to implement any recommendations anyone has. Tell you what, if we do implement it, we'll send you one of our hoodies. Okay, so that is our new PA program search database. As you just saw, again, it's available right on the website. Feel free to use it. As I already just said, if you have any suggestions about things you'd like to see, please provide that information to us. Or if you find any mistakes, again, we're happy to make those corrections as you learn about it, or we learn about it, of course. If you're looking to apply this cycle, there's no such thing as too soon. I mean, we talked about this last year, but right now is a great time. Next month is a good time. Obviously, the sooner the better. But if you're not sure where you are as an applicant, you want to know what we could do to possibly help you, feel free to send us an email. Just go to our website, and there is a free consultation that you can click on and sign up for, and we'll set you up for a phone call with one of our PA mentors who can then talk to you about the services that we provide and how we could help you stand out as a great candidate. As I mentioned earlier, as of today, we have 405 students who have been interviewed and accepted this cycle. We have one student that was a 2.79, so really happy about that. Took several years, but she's in school and she's already started. Anyway, if you have any questions, send us an email, and good luck to you on this cycle. I'm sure we'll be talking more throughout the year with other tips about how you can be a more competitive applicant or how we could help you. Thanks for watching.